demons in my body, so I keep a big clip. 80 on the wrist, I'm throwing ones at your bitch. You bring it back, run it up, and then I pass it to the clip. They got bodies.
Welcome back, guys. In today's video we will be talking about the demon Certi2x and his 22-month-long run from the police, the robbery he committed and multiple homicides where he's being investigated in. So let's first talk about who he is, and I will also give out some information about the Brothers Keepers gang. Who is Certi2x? Naseem Ali Mohammed, or his street name Lil Man, is a Somali 23-year-old high-profile member of the Brothers Keepers gang in BC. Lil Man was first confirmed to be a Brothers Keepers member when he was seen on a cruise with Daniel Gruel and other BK gang members. He also rapped about it in YG Ulit Season 1 track. He could also be seen here chilling with Pressa and is good friends with Stav and YG. The Brothers Keepers gang is a gang in Metro Vancouver and all across Canada that distributes heroin, and its ethnicity is mostly Punjabi. It was started by Govinder Gruel in the 2010 and started a bloody gang war between the Brothers Keepers versus Red Scorpion and Bibo. The Brothers Keepers gang is tied to the hard side chapter of the Hell of Angels with the help of Suminder Gruel. Suminder Gruel was shot and killed in a Starbucks drive-thru in the early morning, and the leader of Brothers Keepers Gavin Gruel was found dead in his apartment by his brother Manbir Gruel. There's been multiple revenge shooting for his case, and his brother Manbir Gruel was the next leader in line for Brothers Keepers but was gunned down outside a bank. Certi2x, or Naseem Mohammed, was born in Surrey, BC. There's not much I could find about his childhood other than him selling drugs since 13. He started making tracks with YG and his friend Stav, who is facing a life sentence for double murder. His major hit was Sherd, a song to diss his rival Iqbal Gruel. Gruel was gunned down mid-block on East 64th between Knight and Inverness. The hit was done by the Brothers Keepers after Iqbal changed sides from BK to UN. On February 3, 2020, Naseem Ali Mohammed, 21, was arrested in West Vancouver and transported to Ontario to face charges of unlawful confinement, assault, pointing a firearm, uttering death threats, theft, and robbery. This is for an incident where Lil Man and another man had an argument in a car which later escalated. At the time, Lil Man had no charges in BC except for driving while his license was suspended, which was late on October 2020. But now let's talk about his run from the police for 22 months. In March 2020, police came to Lil Man's Surrey home to do a curfew check but also arrest him for the situation in Ontario I talked about before. But Lil Man opened the door and shut it right away. He ran from the backside from his house and then he was officially on the run. He stayed on the run and stayed in Canada, but he had enough of it and tried to go in Seattle. On the morning of January 23rd, he was arrested after driving across the border at a non-checkpoint with 3 older men. He had no identification on him and said his name Ahmed Badi. He also said he had been born in Seattle. Authorities released him after several hours as a fingerprint check showed no record, so he basically finessed the authorities. Now he was in the US and it took a while for the Canadian authorities to find out he was in Seattle. During his 22-month run, Lil Man was still engaging in criminal activity and still living a lavish lifestyle. Lil Man also went on IG Lives and made a song called FTOS. On November 8th, Lil Man walked into a Seattle hookah lounge with a Glock and threatened to shoot 2 men if they didn't give their jewelry. Lil Man made a small talk with one of the hostages, telling them he was from Canada and was using a fake name. He then pulled out a gun to another hostage's chest and demanded his watch and a ring. During the process, Lil Man saw one of the hostages with his phone out. He pointed a gun at him and took his phone. The whole time this was happening, Lil Man, or Certi2x, was taunting the hostages, but the police were already called. When they got there, Lil Man threw his gun and walked out with all the other hostages acting like one, and he even used the fake name Mober Ahmed. He is really the finesse king. But while the police were checking the hookah lounge, one of the hostages pointed at Lil Man and said he was the guy that pointed the gun. Lil Man was arrested and authorities got a tip about his real identity, and that was the end of his 22-month run. Lil Man pleaded guilty to 2 felony charges, 1 count of first-degree robbery and 1 count of attempted robbery. He got 41 months and 18 months of community service when released. He wrote on documents that he understands all the charges and he has no questions to ask the judge, and one of his hearings just lasted 15 minutes. There's still lots more charges against Lil Man and it seems like he will be doing some time in prison, but police have also linked him as a suspect to multiple murders in the Lower Mainland conflict but have dropped those and focused on his case.
Flathead County Sheriff's Office reports they're still searching for a Canadian man who's accused of murder who entered the United States illegally in northwest Montana last Saturday. Flathead Sheriff Brian Haino said Naseem Ali Salim Mohammed was taken into the custody with 4 others by the Border Patrol after an illegal border crossing near Eureka. Now that actually led to a high-speed car chase, but as the Border Patrol agents were scanning Mohammed's fingerprints, they found no prior criminal convictions or previous U.S. immigration violations. Sheriff Haino said the agents released Mohammed before they then received intelligence that he had prior warrants out of Saskatoon for a homicide. Haino says it's been several days since authorities have received any tips, but they would like you to remain on guard if you see this man, Mohammed. Anyone who has seen him or knows of his whereabouts is asked to call 911.